Okay, Dragons, we're going to solve inequalities. We're going to use the techniques that we've learned in previous videos. We're going to be able to combine like terms, move things from one side to the other, distribute, as well as remember that if we multiply or divide by a negative number, we're going to flip the inequality symbol. So here we go. We're going to combine these like terms. They both have the variable n. Negative 5 plus 2 is a negative 3 in front of the n. I'll now divide by the number in front of the variable, which is a negative 3. Ding, ding, ding. We're dividing by a negative. If we divide by a negative, this inequality symbol will flip. There's a 1 in front of the variable, and a positive 3 divided by a negative 3 is a negative 1. That is my solution. Now, I like to have my variable written first. After you finish a problem, when you're done doing all the math, you can rewrite this by essentially calling halftime and getting these two teams to switch sides. So if I write the variable n first and the negative 1 last, I'm going to have the inequality symbol still pointing towards the variable. So that means that it needs to look like this. These two inequalities are the same inequality. I like to go traditional and put my variable first. So I'm looking right here. I need numbers that are less than negative 1. Is 10 less than negative 1? No. Is 6 less than negative 1? No. Last time I checked, all the positives are greater than all the negatives. So my answer is going to be a negative 5. And negative 5 is indeed less than negative 1 on the number line. Okay? You give this problem a try. All right, in this problem, we're going to need to do some distribution. We have parentheses here. Remember, use your calculator. You are multiplying the number on the outside times the number in the inside. Negative 4 times 6 is a negative 24. Multiplied by the variable n. Don't throw it out, forget it, or lose it. Otherwise, the problem will change and you will be very frustrated. Let it come along for the ride. Same thing on the second distribution. You are multiplying. You're not adding, you're not subtracting, you are multiplying. A negative 4 times a positive 7, which is a negative 28. So now, if this were an equal sign, we would have a simple two-step equation. We have a simple two-step inequality. So we're going to add 28 to both sides to form a 0. Adding does not switch the symbol, so it's still greater than or equal to. And we have 150. Our last step is to divide by the coefficient or the number in front of the variable. So we're going to divide by a negative 24. And what I do to one side, I do to the other. But ding, 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 I'm dividing by a negative. So I'm going to flip this inequality symbol. That's a 1 in front of my variable. Hey, and it's written on the left. That's even better. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our calculator. We're going to divide this out. 150 divided by negative 24, and we get a negative 6.25. And we go looking, and what do we know? Hey, that's the first answer choice right there. Okay? You go ahead and give this a try. All right, again, do you notice in the instructions you're seeing solution? Solutions make things true. I mentioned that and went over that in the warm-up video for 8A, the reminder video. Okay, so don't have anything happening here on the left-hand side, but I do have distribution going here. 7 times a single k means I have 7 of those k's. And again, this is multiplication. Do not say 3. Don't do 7 minus 4. This is multiplication. So positive 7 times a negative 4, which is negative 28. So now I have variables on both sides. I would strongly suggest that you move the smaller of the two. Remember, there is a number in front of this variable. This is a single k, so that means I have one of them. So I have a negative 1k here and a positive 7k here. If you move the smaller of the two, you're going to have an easier problem and you won't have to worry about flipping the inequality symbol. But you can move these to any side you want to. You have that freedom. So I'm going to add a k, a single k, to both sides. These will cancel. And I'm left with 28 is greater than, and I added this, 7 plus 1 is 8k. And now I need to move the things that don't have a variable k, which is this. So I'm going to add 28, because that forms a 0, and what I do to one side I do to the other. So now 28 and 28 is 56, which is greater than 8k. And I divide by the number in front of the variable, which is 8. Now I'm dividing by a positive, so all is good. I'm going to keep that inequality symbol, and that's going to be 7 is greater than k. Now if I want to rewrite this, I call halftime and get these guys to switch sides. I'll write the k first and the 7 last. It's pointing at the k. Keep it pointing at the k. Either one of these is correct. And again, I like to read the one with my variable first. I need a number less than 7. 30's not, 20's not, 10's not. Hey, guess what? 0's less than 7. That's the one I want. Time for you to try. All right, I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to ask you to do 2 more, and that will conclude this video. All right, on the left-hand side, those are not like terms, so I'm just going to write it down. I have distribution. I'm multiplying. 4 times 1 is 4. And I have a 4 times a negative 2. Remember, I'm multiplying. What is 4 times negative 2? That's negative 8. Don't forget the variable. Okay. I have variables on both sides of the inequality symbol. I have a negative 6x. I have a negative 8x. I can move any one of these that I want. I'm going to take my own advice. I'm going to move the smaller of the two. Out of negative 6 and negative 8, negative 8 is smaller, so I'm going to add 8x, not 8, but 8x to both sides. And now I have 3, and then now what's a negative 6 plus 8? Use your calculator if you need to. Negative 6 plus 8 is a positive 2 in front of the variable x. Remember, adding does not switch my symbol, and I have a plain old 4 on the right side. Okay, variables are now on the left, so this non-variable needs to go to the right. If you change sides, you change signs. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. I get 2x is less than 4 minus 3. Oh, 4 minus 3 is 1. And I divide by the number in front of the variable called the coefficient. I'm going to divide by 2. And so x is going to be less than 1/2, which is answer choice C. All right, go ahead and give this one a try. Now, last one, give this one a try.